I spit Patron on this microphone. Watch out, I'm in the zone. Worth for everything I own. Life is March Madness. One mistake, then you go. Yeah, I had a stroke, but your boy still rhyming. And Fresh got locked, but the squad still wildin'. Catch me in any city in the hood, we grinding.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is what was probably the fight of the night. Jake Paul knocking out Nate Robinson. Now, before we dive in, we're going to discuss some of the memes that are going around. And, of course, this is classic. He beat Nate Robinson's ass. Right? And then we got this. This right here was hilarious.
I didn't even see that one, yo. That's crazy.
Shut it out.
People are terrible. Oh, this one was hilarious too. So let me get this.
Girl, it look like you got your ass wet. Ronnie, don't you worry about nothing. Diamond and blue is blue. I'm gonna make sure everything I own is blue. And did you at least pinch the bitch? Girl, it look like you got your ass wet. Ronnie, don't you worry about nothing. Diamond and blue is blue. I'm gonna make sure everything I own is blue.
Yeah. So and then lastly, there's the Nate Robinson challenge. It's just a compilation.
Oh, look at the simple one. Look at the simple one.
Oh man. So I'm gonna throw it to you, Trill Dollar Bill. What were your thoughts on Nate Robinson versus Jake Paul?
I wasn't aware, right? Because I really wasn't tapped in. I'm not even gonna lie. I really wasn't tapped in with all the stats of the guys as far as the weights and the heights and all that other stuff. But it was very apparent with the size and everything that Jake had a lot of size on Nate. You know what it seems like? This is why, right? This is why when you have money, you know what I'm saying? You got to keep your day ones with you. This is a perfect example. When you get money, you got to keep your day ones with you. You know why? Because when you get money, right, people always want to tell you yes. Because afraid of losing the bag or not being associated with the star, you know? And I think that this was a case of that. These people was over there taking Nate Robinson's money for these Zumba classes. You know what I'm saying? Calling him champ. Wasn't really teaching
classes. You know?
Exactly. Wasn't teaching him nothing. That looked horrible. That looked like somebody that's never really been in there. That was crazy. Not even if I know people who just play around like slap box. I know slap boxing matches that were better than Nate. You know what I'm saying? It was like they just took his money. You know, oh, I want to box. All right, pay us. And they just took his money and called him champ. That's what it looked like they did, you know? He's an athlete, you know, and he's an athlete, but he was just unprepared. He just looked unprepared like a deer in headlights. Like he didn't know what was going on. Then his man sent him back out there and was just telling him to go for it. And then that's what really got him hurt. I thought the fight should have been. He gave him they just took advantage of Nate Robinson's pockets. That's what they did. They took advantage of Nate Robinson's pockets, man, and they was feeding him that ego, yeah, you got it. You had to know before he went to that arena that he wasn't what it was. That you don't just find that out. That messed out last night. You had to know that in the gym. But you just rather just take this poor guy's money. That wasn't even right like that. You just robbed him. He got robbed. He got robbed. I hope he kept a receipt. He get his money back for the Zumba classes that he took. Because this was crazy. I just was he was just unprepared. That's how I feel. He was unprepared. And then you just, soon as the fight started, it was he doesn't belong in there. Soon as all he seemed like he worked on was pushing the jab. Not even a real jab, pushing the jab. That's what he seemed like, rushing in with the jab, like a Superman. That's what he was. I don't know, man. But he was it was unprepared. Shout out to Jake, though. I never really my kids, they know who he is. You know, they like him. You know, they're youngins. You know, I'm much more older, you know. but I like how the young man conducted himself after the match. You know, people talk a lot about the kid. They call him a punk and stuff like that. But what I seen after that fight made me like him. It made me want to follow him and support him and rock with him, because he actually could have, you know, I didn't even know that Nate called him out, and how he handled it was very respectful. I like him. Like, he was like a stand-up young man, you know. From all the bad stuff I was hearing, this was totally opposite. So shout out to Jake Paul taking the high road, man. You just gained a fan here in Trill. You know what I'm saying? I rocks with you.
All right. The Real Mojo.
Yeah, man. Nate said he was doing that for everybody. He said he was doing that for the whole NBA.
Saw that tweet.
Yo, man, listen. Hey, the only one that had his back was Steph Curry, man. That's it. Steph Curry said, "I hope you all right, man." Immediately after the knockdown, not after the knockout. But man, Nate looked like he never even been in a fight before. The way he was talking, I was like, "Yo, Nate about to have 3 successful, be able to play 3 high-level sports successfully." I mean, he could play wrestling. He could wrestle, but he definitely can't box, man. And like Trill said, whoever let him go in there, because last week you knew. Last week you knew. You knew last week.
You knew.
Yeah, man. And the thing is, man, he could have he got hurt because he didn't even want to get up. When they tried to wake him up, he just rolled over. He just you see that? He looked up, and then, man, and a lot of it too, he was embarrassed between right before the last round. He was embarrassed because he was sitting there like, "Yo, do I really want to do this?" He was like, "Let's go," and that was he should have just waved it off, man. Jake Paul, he grew a lot from that first fight I saw. He fought somebody else before, another YouTube guy, and they both look bad, but yesterday, man, he looked like the old Roy Jones, man. Ducking punch. Yo,
that's some high praise right there. I don't know about that.
I mean, it was because of Nate.
Amateur Roy Jones, his first 5 fights.
Something like that. Something like
could have been Nate Robinson was such trash last night.
And that's why I was going with it.
Like
that's the Roy Jones that he looked.
That's why I was going with it. I mean, he was counter punching, man, and like, yo, when that last, I said he just gonna time him one time. I thought it was gonna be an uppercut, but there was an overhand right, man, and put Nate to sleep, man. I was laughing so hard, I felt bad before I went to sleep. I said, yo, I'm gonna wake up, man, sick or something with a strep throat. I said I was laughing too hard, yo. I felt bad, man. But yeah, man, I hope Nate's good. You said
you was laughing so hard, karma was gonna get you.
Yeah, yo, I said, watch I fall going upstairs, man. Watch, man. Yo, I was laughing too hard, bro. It wasn't funny, man. But yo, hopefully Nate don't do boxing no more, man. Hopefully he don't box no more. Teach that.
He gotta redeem himself. Nate gotta go back in there, take another fight to redeem himself. No, something.
Hey, true. Maybe Nate could he could teach that Zumba class, man, that he took, man. But I don't want.
They don't even want him in there.
Hey, man.
They gonna walk in. They gonna be like, "Oh, Nate, man, it's not a good look. You coming in, after what happened."
Not right now. Give it some time, Nate. Give it some time. But yeah, man, that's my take, man. He got himself hurt, man. It's not easy going in there, man, and especially against real fighters, man. Like let that be a lesson to everybody that's doing something else. Keep doing what you're good at, man, because whew. Hey, I'm done, man. I can't even.
I see.
And yo, listen, I'm rocking with Big Mo and Trill on this one. I add, you don't play boxing.
Mm-mm.
That was clear as day. Now, you could be great in other sports. And that's why I always had pushback with Kate. I'm like, I don't know, man, because they athletes, I get it. but your punch resistance ain't there like a dude that actually be boxing every day, sparring every day. Like, you could take better shots. Homeboy took a shot to the back of it. It wasn't really the back of the head. It was like
time out. You have pushback with me regarding what?
Remember, you was like, because he's athletic and all of these other attributes that he was gonna win. And I was like, I don't know. And I remember saying,
in comparison to Jake Paul. But correct me if I'm wrong. You picked Nate too.
Yeah, but what I'm
how,
saying,
so how are you having pushback with me?
No, all right. We've had this conversation.
Just proceed. I just wanted to point that
out.
No,
I'll say, like, for example, you said LeBron James will be a great boxer because of the stuff he does in the NBA. I was like, yo, that's cute.
I said he would be a great boxer, or he would have been a great boxer.
You said he would have been a great boxer if
he would have been a great boxer if that's the sport he picked up.
But not switching now.
And the speed and all that and athleticism.
Yeah. If LeBron James chose boxing instead of basketball,
that's what you said. A great boxer. Correct. My bad. I thought you were saying he could easily transition.
Bro, why would I say LeBron James could be a great boxer when, like, if you tap him on the chin, he flops? That's what he. That's what he does now. If he would have picked up the sport when he was younger, then yes, I think he would have been a great boxer. But he can't.
I stand corrected. My apologies. I was like, I don't know, man.
Bro, that's the number one thing I say about Seth Mitchell to you. That's why I wanted to know why you telling me when you were on the Seth Mitchell bandwagon. I told you.
You see,
a football player.
He learned from Seth Mitchell a while back. I was like, all right. On the football field, don't mean you're going to be the man in that ring, bro. You know what I'm saying? So when I seen this one I knew Nate was food. When they showed the promo highlight reels of what Nate was doing in the gym, they only showed two things: him hitting the heavy bag and him hitting the speed bag. Horrendous. Especially when he's hitting the speed bag, they put it in slow motion because it looks so bad. But they're like, yo, if we put it in slow motion, it don't look as bad. I was like, man, this dude food, son. Like, literally, I knew he was going to be food. Like, just those two things alone, he clearly wasn't taking this boxing thing that serious. So that's why I agree with Trill. I'm like, I don't know if he was just taking a cardio kickboxing class and people around him was gashing him like, bro, you could do this for real. And he's like, yeah, I could do this. I get it. You know what I mean? When you're looking at Jake Paul, you're like, YouTuber, this, that, third. But even though when we was looking at, I think it was last week, we was looking at all his sparring sessions and everything, although it's probably like, hey, these dudes ain't really boxers. You could tell he was putting in the work in, though. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't see that from Nate. What I seen from Nate was he watched a couple of Sean Porter fights. It was like, he was like, yo, I could do what Sean Porter does. You know what I mean? So, but I'm telling you, when he took that shot to the side, he just realized, like, yo, this is real. You know what I mean? And luckily for him, the bell saved him in round one. So I was like, he's going to recover. Yo, he got to figure this out. No, the punishment was so real. I'm be honest, just like Mo, I never laughed so hard. I'm going to be honest. And it's not like no disrespect to Nate. But it was like a wake-up call for the world. Like, and that's why it was so hilarious. Like, I literally got dizzy from laughing. Like, it was that shit. I had a couple of my fellas in the crib with me. And they're like, yo, G, you good? I'm like, yo, I'm about to pass out from laughter, yo. It was that crazy, right? But this is why I'll say salute to Jake. At the end, I seen his interview, and he was like, you know what? I know the world is trashing Nate right now, but he got into the ring, a thing that, like, billions of people would not do. Billions, you know what I mean, would not do that. And he did it for our entertainment. So salute to that, man. I will say this. If I was him, I wouldn't even log on to social media for a solid week. Like, don't even do it to yourself, man, because, you know, when Trill said the gym robbed him, I was like, yo, Jake robbed him of his dignity, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the memes was immediate. Like, seconds after the knockout, people violating him on Twitter and Instagram. I'm like, fam, this is horrible. So, yo, Nate, man, salute to you. Did something that a lot of people not do. I would recommend you just don't do it anymore. Mm-hmm.
Gee, you trying to make me laugh, bro. I ain't laughing no more.
No, man, I ain't never laughed so hard in my life, for real. I think I just showed these dudes. My cousin actually recorded me laughing. It sounded so crazy. It's like, yo, it sounded so crazy, son. You know what I mean?
All right, Ned.
Man, I think y'all are like playing Nate a little bad right here. Like Nate came in there with an okay offense and no defense. When he got knocked down the first time, hit to the back of the head, it was like, yeah, that was a hit to the back of the head. We all saw it, but it's boxing. You can't fault Jake for that type of punch. And then Snoop was telling him, Nate, you gotta put on some defense. You gotta show some defensive skills. And Nate just was trying to headhunt, trying to go for the kill, and he got killed in the process. And that's the way he goes. Like, I think Nate came in there, he trained. Like, you can't learn boxing in 6 months. There's so much that goes into it, like building your IQ, understanding, reading the fight, things like that. I just think after the first knockdown, he got a little prideful, and he wanted to, like, no, I'm gonna take this guy's head off. Like, it's over. And the knockout came to Jake. Jake timed it, saw it, and all the just throwing punches and missing led to his downfall. And damn, they did you dirty after that, man. It was literally 5 minutes after that knockout, all the memes was just flowing, man. Everybody was talking about it, and it's just. I hope you recover. Get well soon, bro, because it's bad, yo. If you want a rematch, train a little harder, man. Yo,
Bro, one of the knockdowns, he did this, yo. Like, he wanted man. He said,
yeah.
I was like, damn, you going to do night in the ring, son? Crazy.
Snoop was singing, man, when the Snoop started singing, man. Did y'all hear that?
No,
Yes.
I'm going to say this.
Snoop started singing, bro.
Snoop should take Tim Bradley's job, bro. You know what I'm saying? Way more entertaining than Tim.
Snoop definitely was the best commentator up there, for sure.
Because he know all them dudes personally, so he was trying to be respectful, but he couldn't help it, man.
But the flip, though.
Run.
This was Nate got this. He come from the hood. Yeah, he got a little background in him. He got this, yo. He been in some street fights.
He fought like
He was like, Nate's all right. Nate's from the hood. He'll shake that off.
Nate's laid out on the floor.
Yo.
Snoop like, he be all right. Put some Robitussin on.
like, yo, Nate, wake up.
Cup of Hennessy. He'll be all right. Give him a cup of Hennessy.
Wake up, Nate, wake up.
Now I want to send a apology out to Nate Robertson because I definitely put the battery in your back. Against my better judgment, I gave you the nod against Jake Paul, and clearly you weren't learning anything in the boxing gym. I say that because, like, I mean, I'm very confident that if I trained Nate Robinson for that fight, he would have looked better than he did. I think, like, a number of mistakes he was making. When you're the shorter guy, you got to come in behind something. You have to come in behind a jab, double jab, triple jab. You have to come in behind head movement. When you're the smaller guy, he was just rushing in to grab. It was just a matter of Jake Paul timing him, coming in for a clinch and flying his head. And that's exactly what he did. How did this guy spend, I don't know how long he was training, but how did he not know he needed to come in behind something? He needed to come in behind a jab, behind a double jab, behind a triple jab, come in with head movement, right? That you have to come in with all those things. You cannot just simply come in as the smaller guy. It's just a matter of the taller guy picking you off at the right time. So when I watched Nate jumping in, and Jake Paul was taking those clinches, I was like, okay, now we're going to see what Jake knows. Because if Jake knows enough, he's going to catch this guy jumping in. And then Jake started catching him when he was jumping in. And that's when he started putting him on the floor. And that's when he knocked Nate Robinson's spark out. What I would say is props to Jake. You did it for the YouTubers. They got to put some respect on the YouTuber's name. So shout out to Jake for that. Another thing I'll give Jake a shout out for is he didn't celebrate. Nate was on the ground. He seemed concerned for Nate. And afterwards, he was respectful to Nate. He brought up the fact that it takes a man to step into the ring. You shouldn't clown Nate. You got to give Nate props. I know like a lot of people don't like Jake Paul. He may be arrogant, whatever. I don't know him like that. All I know from him is that he steps in the boxing ring occasionally. But what I saw in that ring was props to him. He did everything he had to do. On Nate's end, he's a phenomenal athlete. My thought was that he would utilize like foot speed. I thought he had better foot speed. I thought he'd be able to get inside, get in and out. I thought he was going to come in, but none of that happened. He just came in with his chin up, trying to hold, and he got clipped. So shout out to Jake and Nate. Look, man, you're a scrappy little guy. And even if you watch Nate in the Big Three, he talks a lot of trash. You're going to have to get over hearing that you got knocked out by Jake, not just on social media, but when you step on a basketball court and you start talking tough, people coming with it. Like you wasn't saying that to Jake. Like, you know what I'm saying? Hell, give him to Jake. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so you just got to get used to it. For the rest of your life, it's just something that's going to happen. Just take pride in the fact that you had enough courage to step in the ring where most people don't.
Please.
Oh, now you had your hand up.
No. It's cool. I'll address it after the segment.
Please like and subscribe. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Also, check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. Poor Nate.
Poor Nate, yo.
Poor Nate.
Get well soon, man. You still the best dunker, 5'9" dunk I ever seen in my life, yeah.
We could have been flawless, flying up to make people's mouths drop jawless. How can 2 years be erased in 1 August? And you know I have my pride, so I had to get brolic. All in all, I can't call it. Just know you're my queen. Wish I was denim, cause then I be in your jeans. Can't fight fate, and you've been loving me since your teens. But when you can't move forward, you gotta wipe your slate clean.